Ladies and gentlemen, heels and heelettes, welcome back to another episode of Blunt Impact. I am your boy Chris G, of course, one half of the Pot Heels, joined by my man, the three-time baby making champion Ness, and we are joined with our co-host Mary Jane, of course, and we are joined by a special guest. We kind of stole his show, so he gets the revolving door. He can come in and out whenever he wants. The treehouse is basically he is like a second holder. He is living in the guest room rent free.
He's
It
our
is my
landlord,
man.
pretty
Oh,
much. He's our
he is
landlord.
our
That works
landlord.
too. He
Yes.
lives with us, but he's our landlord.
Yes, he's our roommate slash landlord, and it is the one and only StatKing. What's good, brother? How you feeling?
Not too much. What's going on, guys? Glad to be here. While I am not part of the Pot Heels subgroup, I am part of the, I guess, Vape Heels subgroup. So I'll be joining you guys in some way, shape, or form, just not with the same effect, shall we say?
That's fine. We're some sort of smokers club, I
Hey,
guess.
that works for me.
Ness, how you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm feeling good, feeling fine. Definitely ready to talk about everything that's transpired over the past week, per se, with Impact and of course All Elite Wrestling. More so Impact, but also All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, I was thinking this might be the first time in if ever or in a long time that Tuesday was the most anticipated day in the wrestling world for a very long time. So we have a lot to get into this episode, but before we get into it, we want to remind everybody at home to share, like, press that thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Show us love. We will show the love in return. So before we get into it, Stat King, you don't got a blunt to light, but everybody else at home who has a blunt or a joint to light, let's get on it. We're gonna count to three and light this bitch up. Stat King, you ready? Ness, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, let's count it down. Three, two, one. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Simultaneously.
Oh, we're in sync. The synchronization is just superb on this channel. So we're gonna start off, of course, with a AEW recap of what happened on last week's Dynamite, which was Don Callis basically helping Kenny Omega become the AEW World Champion. After that, they escape in haste to deal or avoid with all the bullshit. And Don Callis says you're gonna have to find out what's going on next on Tuesday. So here we are, Impact Wrestling. We are joined by Josh Matthews and his wife, but not really, Madison Rayne once again. And, they're just running down the card, recapping the fact that Josh Matthews has an interview with Kenny Omega later that night. So we're gonna save that for last. We're gonna keep that as the cherry on the icing, on the cake, on the cookie, because that's what this is. It's just a bunch of sweet shit going on right now. So the first opening match that we had was Josh Alexander versus Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns. Pretty solid opener. Chris Sabin pretty much got his ass beat the whole match. He was fighting from underneath. The walking weapon was not playing any games with him. A lot of back and forth towards the end. Josh hits a nasty elbow on Chris Sabin, and Ethan Page distracts him and says, "Fuck the elbows. No more elbows. Put your finisher on that man right now." So as Josh goes for the finisher, he gets rolled up, the almighty roll up. 1, 2, 3. Chris Sabin is your winner, and Josh is pissed at Ethan Page for distracting him. So, fellas, we're going to start off with Stat King, the returning Stat King. What are your thoughts about this match?
I liked it. I like the continuation of Ethan Page causing problems for the North. We know that Ethan Page's contract with Impact Wrestling is up. We don't know where he's going to be going after the end of this series of tapings, but we do know whatever happens, he's going to be going out of Impact with some kind of a bang, some kind of a show-off, and this is the way they are continuing to build that story. So him causing a problem with the North when it comes to them pinning Chris Sabin, I can only imagine that something's going to happen on Saturday at Final Resolution with him and Carl Anderson. So looking forward to that. And I just like how they're slowly building the storyline. That's one thing that Impact does pretty well, is doing slow burns.
Yeah, how about you, Ness?
Glad that you say that since this is Blunt Impact.
Slow burn, Blunt Impact, you know?
Is the greatest thing in the world for us here. But overall, I definitely enjoyed the match. It was a great opener. Both these guys are great tag team specialists, but it was nice to see them in the singles match for a change. But yeah, man, the overall story, Ethan Page is fucking up. Like I've been saying it for the past couple weeks. Josh Alexander is not a happy camper, and they're not on the same page. No pun intended. So, yeah, I just want to see what it is that is the final straw that breaks Josh Alexander's back. And he's like, look, I'm sick of your ass. I'll kick you to the curb and move on so I can get back to being a winner. You know, right now, like you said, he was distracted by Ethan Page when, like, during the whole match, he was fine just wrestling and doing his own thing. You know, Ethan Page really wasn't, he was just there. He wasn't saying anything. But as soon as he gets involved in the match, he loses. So, like StatKing said, he's definitely going to go out with a bang. I just want to see how it happens. And it possibly will be at Final Resolution. So, definitely looking forward to Saturday for Ethan Page versus Carl Anderson.
Yeah, I think weed and wrestling are the only two things that slow burn is good for, because anything else, a slow burn is not exactly what you want. You might want to get checked out if you're getting slow burned out here. Next up, Matthews once again reiterates that he is going to have an interview later with Kenny Omega in his own sort of transportation. We'll get to that later. Next up, we have Chris Bey trying to strategize with Moose, and they will have a tag team match together in the main event against Rich. No, I'm sorry. Who the fuck did they go against?
No, yeah, Rich Swann.
Yeah, against Rich Swann and
Willie
Willie
Mack. Yeah.
Oh, what? Mary Jane's already fucking with me. He's like, hey, he's telling Moose, Chris Bay's just like, hey, man, I want to have a talk. You know, I just want to have a conversation with you. And Moose basically says, I talk with my hands. So he goes, you might want to talk to me nicely since you want that title shot after I win the belt Saturday. And Moose goes, well, I guess we go and talk. So, just great character work from Moose. Next up, we have a paid advertisement by Tony Khan and AEW. He is joined by Tony Schiavone, and holy shit, did I laugh.
It was hilarious.
First, Tony Khan is disgraced on how Kenny Omega won the belt from Jon Moxley. He tells Don Callis, you're always welcome to come through. So apparently there's rumors of Tony Khan wanting to buy Impact. The shameless plug of Dynamite and the card that went on Wednesday night.
Very shameless. Very
Ness,
shameless.
I want to know your thoughts about this beautiful paid advertisement by Tony Khan.
I fucking love this whole segment because it was definitely not supposed to be taken seriously. And I'm on social media and so many people are taking it seriously. It just clearly Tony Khan, it was being facetious throughout this whole ordeal. And like people just like, oh, this guy's an idiot. He shouldn't be on TV. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't even be he can't be in front of the camera. He should be behind the camera, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, how do you not see that this is part of the story? Like, I guess people are getting too wrapped up in it. I don't know. But this was hilarious to me. The fact that, like, Tony Schiavone barely said anything. He only talked when Tony pretty much asked him a question or told him to say something. And, like, he kept it short even after that. But it's, man, if Callis and Khan both get into it being the, the presidents of their, respective brands, like, that's going to be amazing. Their champions going at it, that's going to be amazing, which we're getting into that. But, man, like, this is hilarious. I can't, and, he even points out to, like, Impact's, their rosters, like, you guys got great tag teams here, puts over the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega, AEW World Heavyweight Champion, said you guys got great champions here. Like, he's subtly giving them props while trying to keep the story of AEW versus Impact going. And that's another aspect of it that I extremely enjoy. I just want to see more of these paid advertisements Because like the fact that he put emphasis on paid advertisements, like come on, man. This shit is so fucking great. It's good shit, pal. This is great shit. This is great shit.
Yeah, what about you, StatKing? How you felt about this?
So, all right. So Tony Khan, he, as part of everything that the Khan family owns, he's had to do plenty of media appearances, whether it's for their soccer team, whether it's for the Jaguars, whether it's for AEW, and so on and so forth. Like, so he knows how to work with a camera. Also, in wrestling, he has this kind of thing ascribed to him of he's just like a nerd. He's a nerdy guy. He's just like a scrawny little nerd guy, right? So like even down to the point of him sitting there with his hands like this and doing the thing, like remember when like kids in the playground back in the day like would do the thing where they push underneath their arms so that their biceps look bigger? Like even if he's doing that because he's not actually uncomfortable and he needs to look like he has bigger muscles than he did, he knows how to work a camera. He's doing it to keep making people pissed off that Tony Khan, the nerdy guy, is in charge of a wrestling promotion. It's all of it is just brilliant. And again, that paid advertisement thing, just over and over again. This is a paid advertisement. I thought I'd help you guys out with some money. Like this. Come on. Like it's perfect. It's like a perfect Revenge of the Nerds moment where he's like, haha, I'm better than you. I'm richer than you. MJF taught me how to say some things, so I'm going to say them. Like it's that, and it was just really well done.
Yeah, he definitely comes out like a natural dick, like very sarcastic at times, and I love it though. And the way the interactions with him and Tony, I mean, it's just he doesn't need to be like a particular on-screen character, but shit like this, just let him do it. He could do it if he wants to. He's the fucking guy who runs the place, but I want to see more of this. Good shit.
I can piggyback off of something. You mentioned the arms. I noticed that shit, and I'm like, yo, I know this nigga's arms. I know he's not this brolic. Like, and the fact that you're actually saying that, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even get that. But I'm
That's
like,
I know he's doing it. That's why he was doing it, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you really do seem like a nerd right now. Doing this shit. Like, man, wrestling's great when you know how to fucking do it.
I like it. Next up, we had Brian Myers versus TJP, and what I thought was a decent match, nothing crazy. Back and forth. TJP starts working on the knee towards the end of the match. Brian Myers pulls the ref into TJP when he has a leg lock on him or a leg bar, whatever you want to call it, on him at a point. And Brian Myers wins with a clothesline. I don't know how else to say it. He wins with a clothesline, 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, Rohit Raju approaches TJP in the back, and he's like, that was your only shot. If TJP would have won that match, he would have had a chance at the X Division title. But now he lost the match. He can't even challenge for it at Final Resolution, which happens to be Rohit Raju's Final Defeat Rohit Challenge. So, guys, what do you think about the match? And what do you think about who could potentially challenge Rohit Raju at Final Resolution? StatKing, let's start with you.
I don't know who's going to be the person to face Rohit at Final Resolution. He's kind of, in a weird way, he's kind of run through their X Division or their mid-card simply by beating people like TJP, Willie Mack. He started beating people. And then he retained the title at Bound for Glory in that scramble match. It was like, okay, how many people are really left for him to face? So I don't know, maybe it is a debuting talent would be interesting, I guess, if they have somebody signed, even if it's not somebody like super name brand, just to get, that's a great way to introduce somebody. It's also the final pay-per-view of the year. It would be a great way to kind of cap off of 2020. But that's interesting. We'll see what happens there. As for the match, I thought the match was pretty good. TJP is a really good talent in ring, and he can make a lot of things look really, really good, but I don't think he made that clothesline look that devastating enough to get a 1, 2, 3. But hey, I mean, if you can win with a roll up, I guess you can win with a clothesline. I mean, JBL did it for years, right?
Well, that's JBL's clothesline actually it fucking hurt.
Yeah, and he was getting a lot of speed before he was hitting you with that clothesline.
Hey.
Yeah,
that's what you thought.
I thought the match was decent at first, but I didn't like the finish. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just going to go straight to it. I didn't like the finish, but the overall match was great. The fact that, TJP just going out there showing his technical abilities, just transitioning from one move to the other, getting out of holds, just doing what TJP does. Then to fucking lose to a clothesline from Brian Myers. I think like that might be Brian Myers' first win in like a long ass time. That might be his first win since he came. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't follow Brian Myers. I don't pay attention. I just really started getting back into Impact, but like I don't care about Brian Myers. Like, and then to win the match with that weak ass clothesline, I was just pissed. I was more interested in Rohit, Raju, and TJP's exchange after the match, because I want to see if, TJP probably is going to be the reason why, if Rohit Raju does lose the X Division Championship at Final Resolution, we could say that TJP probably has something to do with that, but I just want to see how that plays out at this point.
That is one thing. So the whole stipulation was that if TJP can't beat Rohit Raju that last time, that he can't challenge again for the title as long as Rohit's champion. And then Scott D'Amore basically was telling him, like, it really sucks that nobody named TJP or TJ Perkins or whoever's mother named their child TJP. Like, anybody who has the appearance of TJP, like, that person just can't do. And so they kind of like insinuated TJP could put on the suicide mask and try to pull it off. So maybe they do it that way, and it's going to be suicide versus suicide versus Rohit. But I don't know. But you are definitely right. It's going to be something involving TJP costing Rohit.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with StatKing. I think that's the route they were going. I kind of hope not, but it is what it is. Personally, I like TJP. I know what he can do, but since Brian Myers has been back, man, he hasn't really shown me shit from what I've seen. So
he didn't show you shit at all, ever, not once.
No, his first run in TNA, from what I've seen, was decent, but nothing crazy. Next up, we have Eric Young versus Cody Dina, and before the match, Cody Dina's with cousin Jake. And he's like, don't worry, we got this, bro. We got this. And he's like, this isn't about we. This is about me. I need to do this on my own. I can't have you interfere. Even if Joe During is going to throw me through a motherfucking brick wall 100 miles per hour, I don't want you saving me. Just go to the back. Cousin Jake's like, all right, I got you, fam. You got this. Anyway, we get down to the match. It was nothing crazy. Cody Dina basically just gets beat up. It went a little too long to take an ass whooping. Like, I thought he was going to show me something, some fire or something, but Eric Young pretty much just dominated the match. Joe Doring, after the match, kills cousin Jake, and then they both kill cousin Jake and Cody Dina. They're going to try to kill him a little more, but Rhino makes his return, and he makes his return with a lead pipe. No Heath Slater, but he comes with a lead pipe. Joe Doring, he still wants to go at it. No pipe and all. He don't care. He's a big man. He could take a pipe shot. Pause. But
I was waiting for it.
But yeah, Eric Young holds him back, and we'll see where this goes. Hopefully Heath Slater is almost ready to go. I guess they're just buying some time for him. So that's what you think about this.
Man, pretty much was like the last match. Like, I don't care. Get it over with. Fucking, oh man, Eric Young's just been on such a crazy run, and like, he's just running through everybody, but I'm glad Rhino came back. But as far as the match story that I was telling, I was like, all right, cool. Cody Dean is going to step it up. He's going to, they got history. He's considered, Eric Young somebody extremely close to him, and, he just fucked you up. So now he wants to show him that, like, yo, you just made the wrong decision. But, he made the wrong decision by getting in the ring with Eric Young, because he gets fucking beat up. Pretty much it was just a long squash match. That's all it was. That's why I really don't have nothing to say about the match. But cousin Jake, he didn't do anything till the match was over. Them weak ass forearms on Joe Doring's back. Like, come on, man. But I'm just glad that Rhino came back, and having the lead pipe, I think, is way more a better idea than having Heath Slater with him.
Damn.
That's cold.
Well, his name is Heath now. We should measure that. His name is just Heath. No more Slater. Still got kids, but no more Slater. StatKing, what do you think about this?
First off, I just want to give a shout out to Sid's favorite duo on Impact, the Diners. Absolutely loves the Diners. Sid does. But he more than just likes the Diners. He loves it when they get their asses handed to them. And that is exactly what happens here. And it is a recurring theme where the Diners continually get their shit kicked out of them by Eric Young. Eric Young just will continually, I don't know how many times he has to keep doing it. I guess Cody Deaner is just like, all right, I'll try again. Like, I'll try again. You are Charlie Brown trying to kick that football, except that the football's kicking you back. I don't know why he keeps trying to do this. But yeah, it's something good. It's more importantly like something good for Rhino to do while he's recuperating. That's really what this is about. And I'm sure they're probably gonna get some kind of match out of this for final resolution. So, hey, puts matches on the card.
Yeah, hopefully, I would like to see if they can't have a tag team match, maybe give Joe his first match and give him against Rhino. You know,
That's
too hard-headed.
This is just some fantasy booking. What if Cody Deaner is getting his ass kicked to prove to Eric Young that like he can be a part of like Eric Young's situation? I'm not saying this happened. This is just some hot shit. I just thought about it.
Yeah, I
mean,
think Barry got the best of you.
If I was Eric Young, I would not want somebody in my group who's continually getting their ass handed to them by somebody in my group. Like, that just means we're going to have to bail you out after, like, down the road.
No, it's just like making them stronger and shit. I don't know. I'm high.
You never know with Impact, but
watch a lot of Dragon Ball Z, aren't you? Huh? The training.
No, I'm watching Naruto now.
Hey,
better get fucking Cody Deaner some sensu beans. He just keep getting his ass beat.
That nigga Dragon Balls. Like, nah, something's
Next up, we have Tommy Dreamer, and he approaches Larry D or Lawrence D, whatever you want to call him. I think it's Larry this time. And challenges.
Come back here.
Yeah, he basically challenges Larry D challenges Tommy Dreamer to a match at Final Resolution for his freedom. So since Tommy Dreamer's the booker,
because last week Ness had that great. It's white privilege why Larry D can get arrested.
Apparently they
so
got
now he can fight him for his freedom.
Yeah, we could shoot the fair one for my freedom. I mean, it's probably going to be a hardcore match or a street fight, but I mean, the concept is a little hilarious, but it is what it is. And after that, Tommy Dreamer meets with Scott D'Amore, and he's concerned, man. He's concerned about Don Callis' behavior, him interacting with Kenny Omega, what it's going to do to the rest of the locker room. What are the boys going to think? Are they going to start taking shit into their own hands now? Who got their back? Everybody's on edge. Scott D'Amore's chill. He's like, listen, you can't ruin my mood. This is the best thing to happen at Impact in a long time, so we're going to ride the wave. I don't know, guys. We're going to see what happens. We'll see what happens with Kenny.
Might have been the line of the night, though, when Scott D'Amore says, Lance Storm likes this, and Lance Storm hates everything.
That was a good one.
Let me say something real quick about that segment. Yeah. I love that Tommy was involved in this because Tommy and Don Callis have history being in ECW. Tommy has been through this situation before with WWE and Vince McMahon while he was wrestling for ECW with Paul Heyman. So him being a part of this storyline is a fucking major throwback, and it's probably one of the better ways to go with this whole angle that they're doing right now.
Yeah, I definitely like the fact that they're trying to create some like everybody's hype, but in the back of your mind you got to have a little like worry, like what's going on, what might go on with the locker room, you know, a whole bunch of questions that hopefully might get answered.
Tommy's got a logical point. If Don Callis can be a snake and use Tony Khan, why he can be a snake and use us? Like, that's the same thing. Smart.
Exactly. I don't know. Tommy wears a lot of hats these days, man. So we'll see what's going on.
With the number of times Tommy's had a concussion or got hit in the head, like he's still got enough brain cells to rub together to put two and two together and be like, well, if he's using somebody else, he could be using us too.
Hopefully Tommy. I would like to see Tommy Dreamer end up on AEW just as a cameo one time. He was already there for what? All Out, All In, one of them. So
yeah, All In, yeah.
Next up, we had Deonna Purrazzo and her partner Kimberly And is this the last first round match? I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
this is the last first round match for the tournament. And they are going against Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary. It was a decent tag match. Nothing crazy. Nice flow to it. Good back and forth. Taya and Rosemary get the win. They advance. They get the win because Deonna has a little miscommunication with Kimberly. They kind of knock each other aloof. Roll up, pin, fucking finishing move, all that good shit. I don't know, man. I'm just looking forward to the finals. You kind of get the sense that they're building up Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. I don't know if Taya and Rosemary on the other side of the bracket. I would have to check that.
No, they're next. Rosemary and Taya face Tasha and Kiera next.
Yeah.
All right, so then the other side of the finals would be Jazz and Jordan, I'm guessing.
Yeah, versus Nevaeh and Havoc.
Look at that. So that would be a nice finals. So hopefully we see a good match when we finally get there. What do you guys think about the match? We'll start with StatKing.
Match is pretty good. Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie show yet again why cohesiveness and chemistry in a tag team is very important. Two very different wrestlers, two very different characters, but they have been in a tag team for so long that you just expect them to work well together and work properly together. Whereas Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly like is clearly just in it for whatever particular reason against Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna told her, like, if you help me, I'll give you a title shot. That title shot has yet to arise, yet Kimberly is still following her around and being her servant, basically. So that part's a little weird. Kimberly, I guess, hasn't been hit in the head enough times like Tommy Dreamer, and she doesn't have enough brain cells, I guess. So maybe if you get hit in the head, it gives you more brain cells. I don't know how that works. But either way, pretty good tag match, and Rosemary and Valkyrie continuing onwards. I think whoever wins between them and Tasha Steelz wins the whole thing. So that's just going to be a great match.
Yeah, how did you feel about this, Ness?
Man, this is one of the better matches of the night until the main event. I enjoy this match a lot, to be honest. The ladies definitely put on a show. The spot of the night is when they had their that double split, and then like it was Kimberly and
Taya,
yeah, they did double split and like they was brawling. That shit was dope. I love that a lot. That was my favorite. That was my spot of the night, for obvious reasons. But just overall, the match was great, and it was just great tag team women's wrestling, because we don't get that a lot. So
yeah, that's true. That is true. I'm glad Impact is bringing back the tag team division for the women. So far we've had decent first round matches, so I'm thinking the next round and the final should be bangers. Next up, we had Alicia, however you want to pronounce it, Edwards backstage, and she basically blows off to Neil Dashwood. Last week, they were trying to congregate, but it didn't really work. And this week, Alicia just wasn't feeling it. Like, yo, I ain't got time for this shit. I got more important things on my mind. Like, you got to wait till later. Sunil and her lackey, Caleb, with a K, they're like, you know what? We don't want to do this anymore. We'll do this on our time. You know what I mean? So we're getting a little dissension there. But she goes outside eventually because Sami Callihan's out there talking his shit, and he brings out the old clip, the first time that he hit Eddie Edwards with the bat by accident. I think it was gangster, but they didn't really show the whole clip.
No, yeah, that was
you get the gist.
The fact that he showed the shit was dope, but the fact that they didn't show it made it whack.
I mean, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. You got to please the networks. You know what I mean? Can't be showing shit like that. So, after talking his shit, Alicia finally comes out and says, "Hey, I didn't come alone." Out comes Eddie with a bat of his own.
I was fucked up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fucked up. But he comes out. Sami runs. Heel shit. We're basically getting the rehash of what happened however many years ago. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, am I really excited for it? Not really. How'd you guys feel about it, StatKing?
I mean, it's tough to up the ante further than it's already been in the past. So I don't know. Yeah, like I'm with you. I don't know how. And it's kind of funny because they keep using Alicia Edwards in this spot. Like she, when it was Eddie Edwards and Eric Young, she was getting involved with Eric Young, and then Tommy Dreamer had to save her, and then you get Tommy Dreamer versus Eric Young. This time around, it's her talking to Sami Callihan. I mean, I guess it works, but it's just there are better things that both of them could be doing, and but at the same time, there's really not much else for them to be doing. There's not that many main event level talents in Impact for them to be at each other's throats when you already have our main event that we're going to be talking about involving 4 of them. So yeah, see, let them. I mean, it's one of those things that I guess it's always a good match. So why not have it? I don't know.
True. That's true. What about you, Ness? How you feel?
I don't care. I don't care. Thing. Like I've been over this. We've seen this so many times. I don't care. I just want is Alicia Edwards like Hispanic?
Nah, she's from Boston. She's just a white girl from Boston.
Hispanic people. There are Hispanic people in Boston. Like, what the
fuck? I'm just saying, she looks white, bro. She doesn't look like a Hispanic person from Boston. She looks like a straight white girl.
I don't know. That's all I cared about that whole segment. I don't care about this shit.
Wait, what gave you the impression that she was Hispanic, though?
I don't know. I was watching on my phone, so.
I was watching on my phone.
The brightness was down. She looked
like she had a tan.
That's a spray tan. Come on.
Oh man.
I don't know. Good. I wasn't even high.
You fine? You sure? You sure?
Actually, wait. Hold on. Originally, she's from San Diego, California, and her last name is Inacio.
A what?
Inacio. I mean, you're the Hispanic connect here, buddy.
I mean, that sounds Italian to me. I don't know. We're gonna have to deep dive into that one. We're gonna find out next week on Blunt Impact if Alicia Edwards is Puerto Rican.
There's the tease.
SP3, bump up the budget.
We need to hire Tommy Dreamer as our private detective.
Word. He will be on the case. And he will be eating donuts the whole way. Next up, we finally have our main event, which is Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus Chris Bey and my man Moose. Good back and forth action. Moose looked like a fucking beast. There's tension between him and Chris Bey. You know, Chris Bey not really being sure how to feel about it, but Moose just is like, get out of my way, or I'm gonna get you out of my way, pretty much. Good shit from Willie Mack and Rich Swann, of course. Unfortunately, Chris Bey and Moose get the win at the end, just to build up a little bit more momentum for Chris Bey going into Final Resolution, because he will be facing Rich Swann for the world title. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that match. I don't think he's gonna win, but I like the way they're building him up so that we have to take him as a serious contender. He's a really good talent, and he's getting better and more comfortable, like, in my opinion, just like all around as a character. So I'm excited. Ness, how do you feel about it?
Man, this whole main event was great to me. Not even just for like the actual wrestling that was going on, but as a black man, for black men in the main event, I don't get that all the time. So like, I could resonate with that. But like, these are great athletes as well on top of that. So like, I'm not just saying I like these guys because they're black. I'm saying I like them because they're black and they're good. So like, that was special. But then like, Chris Bey, pretty much everybody in this match, he's, like you said, he's a newcomer. He needs to build. He's building up more. I'm sure he has a following, but like, Impact is giving him a platform to get more than that now. And him in this position is definitely going to get him more followers and more admirers of his craft. Moose, he didn't give a fuck about Chris Bey. He powerbombed this nigga on to, I think it was Willie Mack, like a senton and shit. That was crazy. Moose is just disrespectful the whole match. Like, that wasn't even necessary. Chris Bey was probably pissed, but yeah, definitely needed steam going into the Final Resolution, and I'm glad that Willie Mack took the pin and not Rich Swann. Keep him looking strong for Sunday. Oh yeah, we'll get to that later. So I was about to jump into something else, but nah, I'll save that. About the disrespect to the Impact World Champion. The disrespect.
You know what? We're gonna segue. Well, we're gonna go back. How about you, StatKing? How do you feel about the match?
I thought it was a really great tag match. Just to piggyback off something Ness said, I forget where I saw it, but earlier today I was reading somewhere that I think this was the first main event with all black men or black wrestlers, just in general, since something like a Booker T main event in the WCW days, something like that. So yeah, this is definitely something we don't see and often, to say the least. So great to just have that, but it's always great when you have that and the wrestling is incredible, and that is something that these are 4 guys who can do. And I thought it was a really great tag match. Again, I agree with you. I like that Willie Mack is the one who takes the pin, not Swan. It's just keeping that momentum going, because you're saying, well, I mean, they can beat Willie Mack, but that doesn't mean he can beat Rich Swann. Now you got to tune in on Saturday to see whether or not he can beat Rich Swann. So good work there.
Yeah, definitely. But straight into what happens after main event.
Ooh.
The disrespect. My man, Rich Swann. He just, takes the L not really takes the L, but takes the L like a champ. Wants to go, check out what's happening in the parking lot. And there's a security guard there. He says, "Are you on the list? The list for what?" AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and Don Callis have the parking lot reserved because Kenny's fucking RV or tour bus, most likely tour bus, is out there, and he got the whole parking lot reserved because he's a G and he knows Don Callis. Rich Swann is not on the list. The world champion is not on the list. Not only is he not on the list, but the security guard actually refers to Kenny Omega as the world champion. He isn't the fucking champion on Tuesday nights. Rich Swann is the champion on Tuesday nights.
God damn it.
Rich Swann is perplexed at this. Perplexed. But Josh Matthews shows up. The security guard goes, "Hey, are you on the list?" Yeah, Josh Matthews. I got to interview Don Callis. Yep, you're on the list. Go through. Who? VIP access for big boy Josh. Guys, how do you feel about Rich Swann getting denied?
Canadians in their lists. That's what we'll start with.
I'll tell you how I fucking feel.
Take the glasses off. Let's tell them.
I'll tell you, goddammit. Don't you ever disrespect the Impact World Champion, Rich Swann, again, in his home. Who the fuck are you, Kenny Omega? I'm sorry, I know who you are. I apologize. Don't kill me. Nah, but all right, my man Rich Swann went out looking bad. I would have pushed that nigga aside, went outside anyway. Like, who the fuck are you? I'm Rich Swann. Like, you're in my house right now. But they're saving it. They don't want to blow the load. And this is where I wanted to get into, because wrestling community doesn't wait for shit to happen. Like, literally, I've been a part of it. We gotta wait. This shit started last week. Everybody's like trying to book the shit themselves and like getting upset. We're not going to give you a fucking match, Kenny Omega. Nobody said Kenny Omega was going to fucking wrestle on Impact. Like, what? Who said that? He said he's going to tell you what happened, why he did it, why this is going on. That's all he said. Oh, what the fuck? I tuned in, and this is the final segment. I tuned in all the way for that. Yeah. Get those streams, these fucking views that AEW, the whole publicity that AEW has, like, that's the part of the partnership. That's what was supposed to happen. Like,
it's called being a draw.
Yeah. It's called being fucking smart. Pretty much. We're gonna make this the last segment. You're gonna watch, and they watch. Like, I think they had like their highest view streams on Twitch. Like, I don't remember the numbers, but like, shit just was up there. So like, just wait for it to plan out. Like, we're all in good hands. Just relax. It's not WWE where you rush shit and then you get like 3 more months of the same shit. Like, no. Let's just chill for a bit.
Yeah, no match for Kenny Omega, but we do get an interview by Josh Matthews. Don Callis changes the nameplate from Jon Moxley to Kenny Omega on the AEW Championship on Impact Wrestling. I would have never thought I would have said that, but 2020 is one hell of a fucking year. He explains this isn't a day's, thought of planning. This isn't a week of planning. This isn't a year of planning. This is 27 years of planning. Ever since Don Callis met Kenny Omega. They have a whole backstory. Basically, Don Callis was looked out for by Kenny Omega's uncle when he was coming up in the wrestling business. He returned the favor by looking after Kenny Omega in the wrestling business. So now they're looking out for each other, and that's what he's doing. He's looking out for Kenny Omega, making him the world's champion, making him everywhere, accessible to anyone. Anybody who wants it can get it. Kenny feels like the old Kenny again. He goes in depth. He spits that fire. I know you guys got more to say about it. I just wanted to say, because I've been waiting a good year for him to say it. Goodbye. Good night.
Bang.
StatKing. What do you think?
Before I even want to get into that, let me just I found the numbers. So last week.
Of course you did.
Yeah, StatKing found the numbers. Yeah, it goes hand in hand. Last week, Impact drew 54,000 people. This week, Impact, with knowing Kenny Omega was going to be there, drew 220,000 people. 4 times the amount. Meanwhile, their Twitch stream, which draws between 4,000 to 5,000 people, drew over 50,000 people. So their Twitch stream this week beat their actual cable rating last week. And people are getting angry that we're not getting a match immediately. No, they're going to draw you in. They're going to keep those numbers going. They're going to find ways to get more viewers on Impact. So when we get those actual crossover matches, they mean even more, and more people are watching. And part of that is getting you pissed off at Kenny Omega. And how do they do that? With this actual segment. And now getting to the actual segment, just great heel work. Just great. When he's making fun of Josh Matthews for his Stanford connections, or when they have the Moxley nameplate, and he's like, you give this, you're friends with Ambrose, right? Like, you give this.
Toughen up season 1.
Frisbee.
The hilariousness of it is because obviously Kenny would be the one who's closer to Ambrose, Moxley, whatever you want to call him, because they actually work in the same company. Josh Matthews does not. But the fact that he's just like, no, you're friends with Ambrose, you give that shit to him and give him the nameplate like that. Oh, just it's awesome. It's awesome levels of being a smarmy asshole that he does so well. And I'm just even if I wasn't excited to see how they're going to continue to build this partnership, just alone I want to see how he's going to be interacting with Matt and Nick going forward. That alone is going to be really great for me. So I thought the segment overall was really great. Just the clarity of wrestling, where you cannot be an ethnicity but portray somebody of that ethnicity. When Don Callis is like, yeah, this white Canadian, his uncle was called the Golden Sheik. I was like, that seems a little weird, but hey, it's wrestling. Crazier things.
Yes, absolutely. What about you, Ness?
I just lost my train of thought at that statement. Nah, man. This whole thing is just crazy to be like. First of all, Don Callis is a fucking evil genius. He definitely construed all this together, and Kenny Omega is the right fucking person, the cleaner. Like, I want to know if he's going to come back out with the broom and the same music. No, I don't know if he's going to have the same music. That's New Japan shit. But I'm just ready to see where it goes. Clearly, they're going to have him face Rich Swann at some point. I don't give a fuck who wins. Kenny's probably going to win, but I just want to see that match, man. Like, there's so many possibilities that where this is going to go, and they have the two perfect characters with the best in-ring wrestler, singles competitor, wrestler period, that's leading the charge on this, and they can go anywhere, they can do anything. They all, and pretty much they're all connected, like AAA, Impact, AEW, like they're all already, the pandemic's fucking everything up clearly, but if they can find out a way to get all that, I think he's defending it soon. The AAA
on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. So if there's a way that they can all sync up at some point, that's going to be fucking crazy. Like if their streams are like, what was it, 220,000? Like that probably might hit a lot more, like 500,000.
And Ness, not to put on our review of Honor hats, but Roosh versus Kenny Omega. Come on.
Catch me on
review of Honor. Possibilities are endless.
Are endless.
Anywhere. Man, listen.
I've seen some crazy, and that's one of the great things about this is it you were talking earlier about the fantasy booking and things to do with Cody Dina. The fantasy booking that people are talking about because of this is insane. I've seen someone throw out some crazy theory that Kenny starts collecting all these belts, is going crazy down the rabbit hole. But January 4th and 5th, a certain Golden Star ends the night with that IWGP heavyweight title.
Oh my God.
Then down the road, you have Kenny Omega, belt collector, trying to get the IWGP heavyweight title, both titles, because both will be on the line, versus Kota Ibushi. Like that, if that's how they finally announced the reconciliation of AEW and New Japan, that would be insane.
Yeah.
I lose my. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to get hyped. I don't want to think about it. But I am happy that I went into this not really knowing what to expect, and kind of knew what I was gonna get from Kenny. Like that finally, that he's so fucking full of himself and he's a cocky motherfucker, and I love it. The cleaner's back. But man, Don Callis, man, when he just opened his mouth and he started spitting that shit, I was like, we need more Don Callis with Kenny Omega, because this duo together could reach some very quickly Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman type shit, and the things that they're doing right now, you know what I mean? In terms of like the aspect of a manager and a performer actually feeding off each other and putting on their best performances like at the moment. So good wrestling all around. I'm excited for it. I guess we can start with an MVP of the week. We didn't do this last week on Blunt Impact, but we might as well do it this week. I'm going to go with Kenny Omega because he showed up on Impact. Kenny, the cleaner, showed up on Impact. He didn't have to do a damn thing but open his mouth. Guess what? He's my MVP. What about you, StatKing?
Ooh, MVP. This one's tough. A part of me wants to go with Kenny as well, but a part of me also wants to go with Rich Swann, simply because of how well he sold that disbelief that Kenny Omega, because at first his thought was it was Moose. His first thought was that it was Moose who was blocking him from the parking lot. And then to realize, oh, wait, no, yes, we are the Impact universe or world, but there's somebody here right now from outside that, and they are threatening us. And that immediate response of, no, I'm the world champion. I'm the locker room leader. I need to be the one who steps up. And he's looking at that security guard do I need to beat the shit out of you to get past you? And then it's just a surprise of Josh Matthews walking up and being and getting the pass. I'm feeling that's gonna carry forward with Rich Swann. I think the match between him and Chris Bey, that's gonna kind of be a statement match for Rich Swann to kind of be it's not even about Chris Bey. It's about what this title represents. So to me, I think they've positioned Rich Swann really well, and this started it. So I kind of want to give my MVP to him, so I'll go with him.
All right, that works too. What about you, Ness?
I'm giving my MVP to Moose.
I dig it. I can't. The hardest entrance in Impact Wrestling. Jabroni of the night. I'm gonna have to go with Cody Dina. He got beat up and didn't show me anything. Is it unanimous?
No, mine's Rich Swann for acting like a. No, I'm not.
No, that's not fair.
Should have knocked him out, man. Ken Shamrock be like taking out 3 security guards, so everybody just like,
Hey, that's why he's fucking suspended.
Ken Shamrock's also on like a 24/7 roid rage, so.
True.
Veins popping out of his veins.
Nah, I go with Cody Dina.
All right, so it is unanimous. Match of the night. I'm gonna have to go with Josh Alexander and Chris Sabin. I actually enjoyed this match the most. I thought it was a solid opener, and the pace just, I don't know. Even though he got his ass beat from underneath, it told a good story, and I just like what both men could do. What about you, StatKing?
I'll go with the main event. I just thought that it had really great implications for Impact going forward because it's setting up Chris Bey and Rich Swann, and it's setting up if Swan retains Moose and Rich Swann, and that's hard to kill. That's where we're going.
What about you, Ness?
Yeah, I'm going with the main event.
Main
event.
All right. So, guys, we want to thank you guys for watching another episode of Blunt Impact. We will be doing a final resolution. I don't know if it's a Blunt Impact special or maybe a roundtable. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I was going to ask about that.
We'll figure it out. All right, we want to remind you guys at home to share, subscribe, like, comment. StatKing, where can we find you?
You can find me lurking on our Facebook group, getting into arguments with people that I should not be getting into. And you can find me covering, well, most of the wrestling on Tuesday nights when it comes to AEW and NWA UWN. And, of course, you can find me with my co-host Ness covering everything that happens in a Ring of Honor ring on Review of Honor. Thank you guys again for having me. I appreciate it. I know I kind of, after last week's Dynamite, I just said in our group chat, Chris, I'm going to be on Blunt Impact, but, thank you again for allowing me to come here and just talk wrestling with you guys. I always appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you're always welcome. Anytime. Ness, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at skinny__Kravitz. You can find me on Twitter at skinny_Kravitz. You can find me right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. I am the 6th man of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel team. Catch me on Review of Honor with, again, the man of 1,004 numbers, StatKing. You can catch me right here on Blunt Impact with my man Chris G. And you can catch me on all the roundtables. I'm everywhere. Put me in the game, Coach. SB3. Bump the budget.
Bump the budget. We're gonna have to hashtag that. You can find me at True Hill Chris G. I am one half of the Wednesday Night Warriors with my man Romeo Anthony Colon. You could always find me on Joints and Jabronis. The 1-year anniversary coming out soon. I'm on the occasional roundtable, and of course here on Blunt Impact with my man Ness. So for StatKing, for myself, for the three-time baby-making champion Ness, and for our co-host Mary Jane, this was Blunt Impact. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Take it easy.